Hi and welcome to this third video in the series about analysis of movements, and today we're going to look at throwing. And so with throwing, it moves again through the sagittal plane, and this is acting around the transverse axis. And obviously with throwing, it's looking at the upper body, so we're looking at the shoulder joint, which is a ball and socket, and the elbow, which is a hinge. And so there are two phases within throwing. The first is the withdrawal phase, and in the withdrawal phase, the elbow, you can see here, is extended, and so therefore the main agonist at this point is the tricep. Obviously if it undergoes flexion, we can refer to that being caused by the bicep. So in this case, the agonist is the tricep, and that's undergoing an isotonic concentric contraction. The shoulder is in hyperextension. So when the arm is back in this position here, we can refer to that as hyperextension. The main agonist for that would be the posterior deltoid or the latissimus dorsi, and these are muscles that are found around the back effectively, and so that's within the withdrawal phase. And so what happens is, after the withdrawal phase, you have the throwing phase. That's when the arm comes through, and so what happens there, as the arm comes through, the elbow goes into flexion, and the agonist at that point is the biceps. That's undergoing again an isotonic concentric contraction, and at that point the antagonist will be the tricep, which will be relaxed. The shoulder is undergoing horizontal flexion, so rather than extension, it's undergoing horizontal flexion, and the main agonist there will be the anterior deltoid, and the major one there is the pectoral muscle, so around the front where your where essentially the shorter name for it is your pecs. And so you go from a withdrawal phase, that's where the shoulder is hyperextended, and you go to a flex stage, and that's caused by the pecs. Now with a racket stroke, it's very similar to throwing, and again it's through the sagittal plane, and it operates through the transverse axis. The joint type again is at the shoulder is the ball and socket, and the elbow is a hinge, and it's very, very similar to what you'd expect with throwing. And so if you look at in this position where the racket's being drawn backwards, the elbow will be extended back out. So this is very much like the withdrawal phase in throwing, and so the elbow will be extended out, and therefore the agonist at that point will be the tricep. The shoulder will be under hyperextension, and the muscles responsible for this will be your latissimus dorsi and also your deltoid muscles, so the back muscles effectively. As the arm comes round and it comes into its finished position, the elbow is now bent, and therefore that's being caused by the bicep, so that's undergoing a concentric contraction, and it's undergoing horizontal flexion now as the arm is moved around. So this picture 5 and 6 shows that the arm has come effectively all the way around the front, and therefore that's caused by the agonist, the pectorals and the anterior deltoids, causing that motion. And so it's very, very similar to the withdrawal phase at essentially this picture here 2, that's effectively the withdrawal phase, and then the major throwing phase is very similar to 5, and the motions are virtually the same at that point. If you join me on the next video, we'll be looking at squats and press-ups.